Hey everyone, welcome back to Space Engineers. So I went ahead and did a lot of work on the thruster bays, and I tried to make them look pretty industrial and heavy looking. I'll probably have to end up going over some areas with some heavy armor blocks because right now the ship is pretty fragile. I was testing it just against the normal machine gun on the light scout ship. You know, the light scout ship could rip it open in about half a second. So there's some obvious weaknesses and weak points that I would like to kind of bulk up a little bit. But I do like having the exposed reactors just because they look pretty nice. They add a little bit of a rounded element. And then I tried to fit in as much of these little thrusters as I can, and they're going to be controlling the vertical movements and left-right movements, and the big thrusters will be controlling the forward-back. So everything is piped up in there. I added some red lighting to kind of give it a glow. I don't know if I want to add more gyroscopes or not just yet, because here we'll fly over here to the entrance, if I can get in here, and I can show you guys. So the pitch and yaw are fairly good. This is kind of, I wanted to feel kind of heavy, so I'm fine with this. The problem is the roll. So I'm holding the roll key right now and it's just not doing it. I mean, if I move my mouse, it'll start doing it, but it doesn't want to do it without my mouse moving a little bit. I don't know why or what would fix that beyond just more gyroscopes. So I don't know, it'll be up to you guys, I think, if you think it should be able to roll a little bit faster. If not, I think it'll be fine. Added some venting and oxygen tanks throughout the ship. You can see the piping actually is lit up, and there's some oxygen underneath the floor here. Some front vents near the cockpit. I haven't got it actually working yet. I don't quite know why. And then I also added our nice cargo doors. So this is kind of the back entrance to the ship. I might try and do a more interesting pattern, but this is just a test. I haven't played Space Engineers with this block in it, or shoot, half of these blocks. Really, it's been such a long time. But I went ahead and hooked it up to these buttons over here. And also have, of course, the bathroom door, which does open and close, which is nice. But definitely this episode we will be kind of finishing up the thruster bay and maybe working on some little details. This thing up here, I put a merge block. I like the idea of having almost different weapon loadouts possible for different ships, and this thing's going to have one nice hard point for a different turret if needed, and you'll just hook up a new merge block. I might add one on the bottom as well, have it be a 2-turret ship, and then maybe some fixed guns, some light guns just for defensive purposes. It is not a combat ready ship. It's too slow, I would think, to be effective, and the engine bays are kind of exposed, so some well-placed missiles will just pretty much disable it. So let's see, we're gonna go ahead and keep on working on the underside of these thruster bays. I'm trying to get them all lined up and nice looking. And then also the backside here, I'm trying to add some sort of detail. Don't really know what it's supposed to be, but it's here. Let's just do that for now. May be able to carve some sort of interesting shape into this area. Let's see, maybe something like that. And we'll do kind of more of a gentle slope on the way down. The top side, I think. It's definitely a mid-range sort of freighter. You can easily outfit it to carry people rather than your standard cargo. And I will be making a variant for that as well. That's just the first pass. It looks a little wonky by itself, but once you start adding more layers of these kind of shapes, it might it looks like a giant mouth. It's totally an alien right now. Okay. That's fine. Let's add some shapes onto this back side of the thrusters. I think I'm still in Ventrilo. 1 second, let me just check this. Yes, I am. I'll just close that down. Didn't want any of my friends coming on randomly and start talking to me, thinking I'm free. So I think this will just kind of curve upwards to meet. At least for now. In fact, this might be too pointy for my liking. That might be better. Let's see, does this fit nicer? I think so. Hope you guys are enjoying this larger ship. It is definitely taking longer than I anticipated originally. That's okay. Just means I get to come home and do this, which is fine. I enjoy doing something creative. Let's see. We need to do another angle block. Then I guess this. I think I need to turn on my headlights here so you guys can see. It's a little dark. Need to work on sealing off these lower generators and then adding in the rest of our little thrusters. There's going to be more thrusters, at least these little ones, kind of throughout the ship, just to give it a little bit more control. Because right now, I can show you guys, it's a little unwieldy going to the left and right. So this is its strafing. This is its strafing speed. As you see, we don't really go anywhere. And let's see, how about vertical speed is a little bit better. And then down speed, it's a slow ship. Down speed doesn't really exist, I guess. But forward momentum, definitely very quick in terms of that. Here, I'll just zoom out here so you guys can see. we're falling. It does not stop in most directions very well, so we'll just have to work on that. Keep adding these little thrusters throughout. Almost consider these small thrusters to be RCS. If you guys ever played Kerbal Space Program, that's kind of what I consider them to be. I don't know if that's really a good way to compare them, but right now they're really just lateral kind of things, so we can at least stop and stop floating around. The bottom of the thruster bay is different than the top, but that is just because of the, I guess you could say, limitations. Did I take this too far? How does this work on the other side? Okay, so it just goes one, then a one gap, like that. Okay. But it's just because one of these thrusters are offset by one. You can see this large one on the left is not in the center of these two. So we just have to make the struts and things wrap around in a smooth manner. And I guess we just need some staircases here, followed by some armor. And the heavier this thing gets, the more thrusters we will need. Is a concern. But initially I want 6 in every direction, except for the forward and back. They only have 3. Not sure how I want to handle the top here. I might just make some smooth arcs or something. Some more armor plated looking areas and things of that nature. Same thing with this back side. Really, the back side might be easier because we can just kind of walk it down, I guess you could say. Because this is actually going to merge to the bottom side, and the bottom side needs a little bit extra depth. So we will be trying to hide some landing gear, and we need probably about 4, maybe 5 landing gear. I was messing around with getting them to be like retractable, but every experiment of that ended up being a total failure. They pretty much just wanted to keep exploding. That'll be the widest point. Or it might be best to do this kind of shape. I think that makes it look a little bit heavier. Of course, we need to do something about this spot here. kind of don't know what I'm doing at this point. If you guys like it, you can let me know, but I'm really winging this. And winging can be nice because you can do these kind of shapes to make your outline the way you want it, and then just change the details around and make it fit a little bit better. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do some off-camera work, and we'll skip back to kind of more of a future look as to how it's shaping up. That way you guys don't, that way I mean I can get some stuff done without having to call the video too soon. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright everyone, so I think this is where I'm going to be calling it for today. So I went ahead and added some extra ribbing across the spine, and I'm thinking about replacing a lot of this with maybe some heavy armor. That way, you know, there'll just be kind of weak spots like here and here where the light armor will be, but everything else will still be heavy. That way, you know, it's not like impenetrable, but you have to be pretty accurate, I think, to take advantage of the weak spots, which is something I enjoy doing as well, planning something like that. And then, you know what? Let's try. We're just gonna take a shot here and see what it'll look like with the two-tone of our colors here. So red on top, changing into black about halfway down. Just come down here and spray this. Alright. It might look a little weird just because it's quite a lot of red. I might try and work maybe some of these areas to be a different color in here. That way these kind of pop out a little bit more and look a little bit different than everything else. Maybe. Who knows? I'm just having fun at this point. Alright, so I think that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching as always. If you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe. And one last announcement. I've been working on some medieval engineer stuff recently. It's not quite to a point that I want to show you guys the plans, but I just figured I'd let you guys know that it's still in the works. We're gonna be playing medieval engineers again at some point, just not quite yet. So you guys who enjoy that content a whole lot, you know, don't worry, it'll be back. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.